So, back to the full day of eating videos, what I eat in a day videos, and eating to mental hunger videos, which the last of those was my invention. Eating to mental hunger video. I thought that by filming what I eat in terms of my mental hunger would be inspiring to many other people, because my mental hunger is so huge and I eat so much, and it would really help people, because I know that for me, when I was coming out of quasi-recovery, which I actually am still kind of in, because I just talked to my coach, so I ain't out of the woods yet. Just put that aside for now, though. But when I was considering another video, I thought, well, you know, the eating to mental hunger for older adults video would be really helpful, because, you know, when I was trying to pull myself from the depths of despair of quasi-recovery after having gained 35, 40 pounds or so, and feeling like I was stuck because I was so scared about the weight gain and where I was and where I was going, because it was obvious that with the mental hunger I still had, I was going to continue to gain weight. I thought I'd clamped down and went into quasi-recovery. Well, coming out of that, I'm searching the internet for people who are in the middle of the process, who've already gained a lot of weight, who are a bit older, who've had the disease for a long time, and what they eat. And I want to know, can you help me? What are you guys eating? So I thought, well, you know, it would be beneficial if I did that. And it would really help keep me accountable, because my mental hunger is so huge. And sometimes I don't pay homage to that. Sometimes I'm like, well, you know, I really want to eat now, but I'm going to wait an hour. Or if I eat this now, I'll be really full later for lunch when I am eating with someone else, or when I'm going to a restaurant, and I don't want to eat this now and be full later. And so I thought it would keep me more accountable if I put everything on film. Well, I didn't know about the propriety of this. This is very important to me, that I do things that are not upsetting to people. And so I asked my coach, who's an expert, I asked her, you know, what do you think about my filming an eating to mental hunger day, or a series of those? And she said, I don't like those kind of videos, because to people they are triggering. And of course, working as a coach, she's probably heard many people that she's worked with say, you know, so-and-so's got videos out there. There's a lot of anorexia recovery content out there that involves full day of eating, and they don't eat very much. Or they say they're eating to mental hunger, but it's all looking like healthy food, or not processed food, or no sweets, or it's all very regimented. And I really understand that. I've been triggered myself by seeing some really regimented videos, and I'm like, this doesn't look like freedom, and it doesn't look like what I'm eating, and I wonder if I'm doing things wrong. I wonder if this is actually the way I should be doing it, and etc. on down the line. You probably get what I'm talking about. So I thought, well, you know, making my own video, you know, showing me eating bunches of donuts and my brownies and all that stuff will really be helpful to people. But my coach was like, nah, it'll still trigger people. Other people might be eating more and they'll still be upset. Or they might be comparing body size, or they might be comparing this, that, and the other. So there's always a bit of a caution that should be involved in making any kind of YouTube video that involves recovery. So I get that. Now, having said that, I've heard my coach, I understand what she's saying, but after we discussed this, we also discussed how much I'm still restricting, which is a problem. So, and I thought that actually filming myself eating to mental hunger and imagining what I would want to see other people eating in their mental recovery, in their mental hunger, I misspoke there, eating to their mental hunger in their recovery after they've already gained a bunch of weight, when they're in the middle of the process, but they're still eating a lot, what I would want to see and what would be reassuring to me, if I did that, then that would help keep me accountable because I would be eating what I want to eat. And so there you have it. I am still considering posting some footage of my eating to mental hunger, but I'm not going to do it just yet. I'm going to show a few things that I eat, and I don't eat only this, but I am still sort of in the sweets phase. So I do love to eat donuts, and I love brownies, and I make brownies. They're the only thing I make. And I have a little bit of footage that I've shot about me making brownies. And believe me, it's all from a mix, like Duncan Hines or Betty Crocker or something like that. And all I do is add eggs and butter. It's not like I'm any kind of chef or put much effort into it. It's enough effort just to stir it. But anyway, that said, I do think that there will be in the future, maybe not too distant future, some videos of me actually eating to mental hunger, but I want to make sure that I am really eating to my mental hunger and that it's enough food for people to feel inspired by it and not go, what? Believe me, when I see people just eating oatmeal for their full day of eating things, or if they eat like 3 pancakes, I'm like, where's the rest? So having said all that, I think that I hope that this isn't a disappointing video from the sense that I'm not showing you exactly what I'm eating, but I do want to provide that for folks, especially for the older people, because a lot of us, have been told if we're past 50 or beyond that our calorie needs are less. And my coach has told me that there have been some studies that people that are older actually need more, which I kind of get. I believe that there might be some validity to that. Even a doctor came in and said, yeah, there's been some studies that have shown that older people that are recovering from restrictive eating disorders, who've had it a long time or whatever, actually need more calories, and maybe they might need a longer a longer span. Their mental hunger might last longer. I believe all of that could be true. I don't think there's actual scientific proof that shows that, but I think studies have shown that. But then on the other spectrum, you do have like calorie guides and stuff like that show like for different ages you need this, that, and the other, and of course as you age you need less and blah blah blah. I think all that needs to be thrown out the window. For us older people, we are right in the same batch as the younger people that are going through this, and we're even further along. We actually needed more. So I'm just going to throw that out there. We need even more. We need to really stay on it. And another thing that I want to kind of wrap things up with too is my coach told me that even though I'm 35 or 40 pounds down the line, which I keep telling her, and she's like, will you please shut up about that? I don't care where your weight is, because anything that you are doing while you still have huge mental hunger, which I hear you on, and you're not recovered, anything that you are doing, any action, any thought, anything like that tells you weight gain is not okay and that your weight needs to be suppressed, anything that you do, like even like a low-fat yogurt or those kind of things, that's telling you that somehow your weight needs to be controlled or suppressed. It's telling the brain that it's still not safe to be free and go on, and that there's not a famine. And so I do so many little things that tell me that weight gain is not okay. And I tell you, I will say that I am conscious, very, very conscious of fear of weight gain. I still have that. Now, my coach has told me that the fear is natural. The fear does come up. It is just really, really important not to let the fear interfere, no pun intended. But it's true. Don't let the fear interfere. Don't start imagining these huge body sizes and that you're going to end up there, but just go through day by day. And I know the whole one day at a time thing is so hard. It's very difficult for me. I hate it, actually. I hate hearing that comment, but it is kind of a day at a time. So, and the weight gain will be what it is. So I guess I'm just going to have to hunker down and deal with that. So now, with all of that, like I said, I may put some eating to mental hunger videos out there, but only if I deem the content to be inspiring. I'm not going to put anything out there that isn't loaded, loaded with food, because that's where my mental hunger is. And I've got to kind of get myself up there and not be scared by that. Second thing is that this eating to mental hunger videos won't be like cheat day videos that are in the fitness industry, in the sense that I will gain weight. My weight is going to go up. My body still wants to store fat. It still wants more fat. It's not where it wants to be. And yes, there is this thing called overshoot that they talk about in anorexia recovery. Whether that happens or not is up to our bodies, and whether we're in it or not is up to our bodies. And so that's just not something to worry about, like I just need to not, the whole body part, that sounds odd, like a limb hanging out there by itself, but the whole body portion of this recovery period is really up to my body and not up to me. And that's the main thing that my coach was saying, is that the body needs to do its own thing, and my brain really cannot be in there kind of trying to say, but what if, my legs and my butt and, all that. And I'll just do this little less thing here so I can do this more thing there. That's also, monkeying with the body and everything. So no go on any of those things. So that said, I'm going to show you some clips of foods that I eat all the time now, all the time. And there is a much more else that I eat. I don't eat just sugar. I do eat protein, and I do eat a little bit of vegetables, not much, but just throw the vegetables in there. And I do eat nut butters and things like that. So, but I'm going to show you the main, go-to mental hunger things that I think about all the time. So that said, peace to all of you. And last thing, I did ask what your favorite songs are, or what songs come to mind when you think of songs with sound effects in them. And this category is vast, and it's just a huge category. And I could go through so many songs. There are songs that have little sound effects in them, like Joe Walsh's Life's Been Good. There's a line in it where he goes, "It's hard to leave when you can't find the door." And then you hear this little doorbell click, click. That's pretty clever. I do like that. And then there's John Fogerty's Center Field. And then there's just this one little part in that, because it's about baseball, where you hear a bat hitting a ball, which is a great little sound effect for that. And that song, by the way, is the only song that is actually in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Just want to throw that out there. But my favorite songs that involve sound effects are more on the simple side. Otis Redding's Dock of the Bay. Beautiful whistling parts throughout that song that have the ocean rolling in and rolling out sounds along with it. That is just so classic and beautiful. Then there's also Sam Cooke's Cupid, and there's little arrow noises, like a whap sound that go whenever he says, "Draw back your bow, whap, and let your arrow flow." Very, very well done use of sound effects in those two numbers. So those are probably my two favorites. But then you get really complex sound effect songs, like Starting Over by John Lennon, where there's all this airport information sound effect towards the end of the song, which really makes it quite intriguing, very interesting. Now, I've really failed at finding sound effects songs that are performed by women. So if you could help me with this, find some female songs that have sound effects in them, because I'd really like to know. I'm still thinking myself, but like I said, I don't Google this stuff. I just think off the top of my head and try to come up with something. Oh, and if you're thinking, geez, all that music is so old. Ugh, I never heard of those songs, those people. Okay, well, let's speed up and go to the more modern day. I do love the Killers. They're a great band, and so they have a good sound effect in their recent song, The Man. There's like a cha-ching sound going on in that one, so thumbs up to the Killers on that. Great sound effect. It really adds a lot to the whole kitschiness of the song. So that said, we're done for now. Peace, everybody, and see you next time. Take care.